Fill her up.
You're listening to the Gas Digital Network.
I went online to become a private detective. It was a private detective school online, and I paid online. I never heard from them again. I thought to myself, I either got ripped off, or this is my first case. This is a journalistic podcast, Shannon. We vaccinate our listeners with answers. And I'm going to keep lip-syncing the important questions until TikTok gives me a show. Shannon, how can the moon landing be real if the moon itself is fake?
That's not true, Mike.
Oh, isn't it true, Shannon? You're fake. You're a hologram.
1 in 5 New Yorkers are food insecure. What's your solution for that, Mike?
Fortune cookie. Because that's food and advice at the same time. Shannon, at least have the decency to backstab me, okay? You stab me in the front every time. Some fans can't watch the podcast because they're triggered by our sexuality. And message to those fans, we will leak a sex tape right into your mouth.
This is Mike Vecchione Investigates.
And you're not better than me. Welcome to Mike Vecchione Investigates, another shocking episode. Shannon just bringing me breaking news that I sent her in an email not 2 minutes before we started. The preparation is high for this podcast. We have a very special guest. Let's just get right to her because she's a rising star in the comedy community. Ariel Elias is here, everybody.
Hey, Mike.
Ariel, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for bringing me in.
It was, I saw you perform over the weekend at the Comedy Cellar. I had to follow you, and it was not easy.
Twice.
Because you were murdering. Yes, you were murderous. And I had to go up there and establish myself and establish my own energy and confidence, and that was not easy because you're so funny. And the crowd knew it, and everybody knew it. And I had to go up there and try to make them forget because they were like, oh, we still like the last girl who's up there. We like the last, dare I say, woman, not girl, a woman who was up there. And now this guy, this meathead is up here trying different tricks or whatever. And I think that they were clinging to you. And it took a good 5 minutes for me to get them into my vibe.
Wow. That's, yeah. I mean, you're getting better.
I am getting better, always improving, because I always give 100%, not like our fans who are at home, just withering away, barely able to get up and out of the house. So we have to motivate them because they technically are people, and they need our motivation. Any words for them, Ariel? Well, because you're a highly motivated, highly talented, and while these fans don't have your talent, they can still be useful members of society. Tell them they can be.
Hey, you got this.
Right.
You've done harder things.
Right.
Going to sleep is harder than getting up.
Mm-hmm.
People famously have trouble getting to sleep. They take all kinds of pills. You don't have to take a pill to get up. You can get up. Get up.
No, that's our fans. Taking pills to go to sleep, taking pills to get up, racing thoughts. That's most of them.
Okay.
Crippling anxiety.
You might not be able to do it. It's okay. Just go back to sleep.
It's okay, but make sure they listen to this podcast. We need numbers.
People like to listen to podcasts to go to sleep.
Right. Well, not this one. We're jolting and shocking, and we have a lot of horns that keep them awake. So we try to trigger them. Thank you, Shannon. Right on cue. It's a lot of teamwork going on here, and a lot of the producers are women. 2 out of 2.
Good for you.
1,000. And they're very capable. But they're also very beautiful. And I'm allowed to say that because I'm not the governor of anything. And I just think that they're very capable, and it's March, and it's Women's Awareness. And thank you for coming in. I know you probably have a busy month, as all women do.
It's always hard to do everything I have to do and get my period. And I just feel so brave.
You were very brave, and you had me at it's always hard. Anyway.
No, don't give a horn for that.
No.
Absolutely not.
That's absolutely, we cannot lobby Shannon one way or another, Ariel. As comics, we have to trust her judgment. And I've learned that the hard way because we've had our battles on this podcast, as our fans know, our fans who are barely able to sit up and feed themselves. But Ariel, you were talking as you were coming in here about daylight savings. What's your beef?
Here's the thing.
First of all, are you vegan?
Am I vegan?
Yeah, because I said, what's your beef? And that could have triggered you.
Wow. so socially conscious. So
I'm very
aware.
conscious.
I am not vegan.
Okay. You'll dabble in the meats.
I will dabble. I will partake.
Right.
I will mostly sustain myself on raw chicken.
Raw chicken.
I think it's nice to eat and get a colonic all at the same time.
That's so great.
Because as a woman, anything
Yes.
to feel thin.
Anything to feel thin.
Anything to feel thin.
But what about pork as a meat and as something that you, because I know you're a chosen also. So is that a no? Is that a no-go?
No, I'll go.
You will go on pork.
I'll go hard.
Yes.
I'll go hard on
Go hard or go home.
on a pork belly.
Yeah.
On a bacon strip.
What about a roast pork sandwich with broccoli rabe and a sharp provolone?
Too many vegetables.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. You skew the other way.
Yeah, I would never poop if it weren't for the raw meat.
Wow. A number two. A number two while listening to the number one podcast on the Gas Digital Network. We like to stick the landing on these. Daylight savings, did it throw you into a tizzy?
It sure did, Mike.
Why?
Well, thank you for that question.
Okay.
It's only an hour change. It shouldn't be that big of a deal.
It shouldn't be.
Lots of things can happen in the
Right.
course of an hour, and yet nothing can happen.
Yes.
But man, does it
You got
fuck me-
metaphysical. You got metaphysical. You almost blew my mind. I don't know if we should smoke something. I don't know if we should have an edible.
Do you
No,
don't.
I'm clean.
You would never.
Straight edge.
Okay. Well,
I'm just clean. There's
then-
no straight edge anything. Straight edge implies that there's something more to it. I just stopped doing everything.
yeah.
Yeah. But keep going. I'm sorry. There's a tendency to cut people off in this podcast, and I don't want to stifle our guests.
No, it makes me really be aware of my womanness. I just feel I don't know if you can appreciate the concept of time as somebody who does not partake,
Okay.
but it's famously not linear.
Right.
And there's something about having to go to bed a little bit earlier than you're supposed to and
Right.
waking up a little bit earlier than
Yeah.
you're supposed to that just throws the whole goddamn day off.
Do you feel naughty? Because you're not abiding, but you're not going to bed a little bit earlier? I should go to
feel-
bed a little earlier.
Here's what it
That
is.
stepmom that you never loved is in your head going, you should go to bed a little earlier.
I feel naughty in the fall
Right.
when we go back.
Right.
Because then you're like, ooh, I'm up later.
Yes.
And yet I'm abiding by the rules.
Right.
And that feels like you're getting away with something.
Right.
And as a Jew, I do like to get away with things. But
Ooh.
in the spring, it just feels like I am being chastised by the stepmother I've never loved.
Is it chastised, or I prefer to say challenged? Because we like to put a positive spin on things. Our fans are so negative.
Do you know what chastised means?
We can look it up, and thank you very much, because this is an educational podcast also. We function based on facts. And Shannon, could you put up chastised? And if you don't put it up fast enough, you will get berated, which is the next word that you can...
Admonished.
Admonished. Rebuke, which I don't know. I mean, that's another difficult one. Or reprimand severely. Reprimanding somebody severely.
Yeah.
So that's what chastise means. We got to the bottom of it. This is an investigatory podcast. I don't know if you knew what you were in for.
I didn't.
But you came in groggy. Is that fair to say?
No, but
It's
do
1
understand.
hour and it threw you into a tizzy.
I understand why I do come off groggy inherently, but no, I had to do an extra coffee today.
Right.
I had to do an extra coffee.
And is it over caffeinated? Because I live with Katie Hannigan, and she really loves to get over caffeinated.
I don't love it, but
Yeah.
I am it.
Yeah, you are it. You become it.
Yeah, it's happening.
Wow. This podcast is spiraling off into the metaphysical. It really is. And I don't know if it's you have that kind of depth. Are you a practicer of the dark arts? I'll just ask you.
That's a great
Witchcraft?
question. I dabble, if you will. I've cast a spell or two.
Right.
You don't wear this much eyeliner and not read a Wiccan book.
Right. A Wiccan. Wow.
Do you? Have you ever
No, I'm on
been enchanted?
no. I keep it on the bright side. The powerful. I try to do the mind science thing. I try to will things to happen. That's what I try to do.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do with my mind. Bend reality.
A little
with my mind.
The Secret, but
Yes. Law of attraction, but more forced. So I don't know what that ends up being. But I'm interested in the mind. I'm interested in influencing, being a creator. I love all that because that's what we do for a living. I don't know the people at home. if you're going in and out and listening to this, we are creators. We create our sets. We're creating content all the time. So
we're like little art gods.
We're little art gods. I never thought of it that way.
Start thinking of it that way.
I'm going to start thinking of it that because I'm not beyond learning. And that should be a message to the fans. Learn something from someone.
I think if you start thinking of it and yourself as an art god,
right,
you might be able to start following me.
I'm following
on
your
a set.
I'm following your yes.
At a show.
I will be able to.
I think you'll
I
do
will
a lot
be
better.
able to, and I set the tone. I set the goal. I don't set the goal. It's not a goal. What are we in high school? I set the intention. And one of my affirmations,
the attention or intention?
Intention is to be an ultimate creator. I'm an ultimate creator. I'm the top creator. And I'm writing it down now for affirmations purposes. Do you do affirmations?
I don't do affirmations. I do a lot of, we did talk about this. I do a lot of down talking to myself.
Yes.
I do a lot of negative talk.
Right.
This morning, though, when I was working out, I did take your advice and I started saying power to myself, and it did help.
Doesn't it help? You're having a great show.
I refuse to say it out loud still.
Why?
I don't know. I'm too in my head. I can't, I won't, my walls are too thin.
Look at me. Eye contact. Power.
Power. I did.
Okay.
But here's the thing. I have to do a little bit of negative talk. So I would inhale power and exhale weakness.
That's it.
Is that it?
That's a great way to do it. I try to do that when I do my power breathing in the morning, which I do. And it's like you take in the power and you release any kind of blockage or anything that's in you. Because I think that I'm physically tight. I have to stretch a lot, but I think that the tightness is blockages, you know what I mean? And I think that hinders you, and you hold on to stuff. Somebody cuts you off, somebody dismisses you, somebody does something that hurts you, and it's like if you keep it there, it's going to be a creative blockage. So you got to like release it, just release it. It's over. Get it out. Or like if it's something that keeps happening, you're like, all right, I have to step up and do something about it, but do something about it and then let it go. Don't keep it. You know what I mean?
I will. You might also be tight because you're pushing 50.
Yes.
That might be part of it.
Thank you for bringing up my age.
I don't know if it's just negative.
Thank you for bringing up my age. I was on a good roll, and I was feeling really good about myself. And then you said, hey, limitations, Mike. Think about your limitations. And not going to hold on to it. I'm going to release it. You said it. It's out there. I'm releasing it. And now I am overcoming it. So...
Just here to challenge you.
That's what we do.
Here to
but
challenge
that's
you
what
like
we do.
a
But it was a
stepmom.
good test for me, and I have to thank you for pushing me to become better.
You're welcome.
So thank you so much for bringing
Anytime.
that to the table. A lot of guests won't do that. You know,
I'm happy to.
They'll
happy to make
compliment
you feel.
me.
No, I would never do that. The other thing I did was I told myself while I was working out, it will never be harder than it is right now.
Okay, that's
doing
good.
this will never be as hard as it is right now.
The rest of your day is going to be easy.
Oh,
well,
no,
not this podcast because I'm going to challenge you.
This is a struggle.
Right, it's a struggle, but it prepared you for it. Saying the word power.
Power.
Now, instead of, did you walk around pounding your chest going, I'm a gorilla? Because that's what I do. I'm a gorilla. And you might want to do the female version of that.
I'm a
whatever that is.
bonobo.
Okay, yes.
I'm a matriarchal ape
And they're
society.
monogamous, right?
No,
is that why you said it?
They fuck everybody.
Do they fuck everybody?
They say hi with a rubbing of the genitals.
Okay.
They're very, but they don't war with each other really, I think.
Right.
Maybe.
Well, do you have time?
There's
or the
no.
energy? You know, you're too busy either effing or having breakfast. Right? Bonobo. It sounds dirty.
Bonobo.
Bonobo. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you don't want to walk around doing that. You're a married woman to a good friend of the show, Dan Shackey. Can I say his name?
Please.
Dan Shackey.
Somebody needs to.
Our friend of the show, very talented comic also, who we're going to have on.
Please do. Give him something to do.
I'm going to give him something to do.
Get him
I'm
out
going
of
to
the
give him a lot of
apartment.
love. Now, what was he doing while you were doing your power? What was he doing?
He was...
Because he's a great swimmer. I know that about him. Dan Shackey is a very good swimmer.
Well, he likes to get into different hobbies. He likes to... It's something I really admire about him is that he often...
He's curious.
He's very curious about the world, and he likes a hobby.
So he's kind of like Curious George, and you're the man in the yellow hat who just kind of guides him.
Yeah.
Because he'll get into trouble
Yeah.
Maybe that's my narrative. I'm asking the question.
I don't know. Is that what Katie does for you?
No, I'm not that. Katie is much smarter, and she has to like guide me along. She's like a seeing eye girlfriend, like, you know what I mean? Intellectually, she has to guide me. She's much, much smarter, and I know people say that to like be like, my wife is smart. It's like, no, it's just sometimes the man is smarter. Whoever's smarter needs to take the intellectual lead on stuff, and then when it comes to dumber stuff, then that's when I step in. You know?
I think Shaki is smarter than I am, unfortunately.
Shaki's very smart.
He's very smart.
He's very smart.
So good at math, and I just can't.
I'm so jealous of that.
Me too.
Great at math.
Yeah, he used to be an engineer.
God, I hate that.
But I am better at, he can't, when we have leftovers, he can't figure out what Tupperware it goes
Spatial
into.
relations. He don't know how to do it. Sorry, Dan. Sorry, buddy.
Sorry to air our dirty laundry.
Bridge. Build a bridge, dog. Because you ain't going to figure out how to put the casserole into the smaller bowl, apparently. Sorry. Our fans love a little vengeance.
Yeah.
And we have to give it to them. Because that's really how they function. They function off vengeance, and we're trying to turn it around. We're trying to get them function like what we do, off positivity. All right, guys, I want to take a second to talk about our friends over at rockauto.com. Hey there, auto mechanics and super cool do-it-yourself guys who work on their own cars. I want to tell you about rockauto.com, the online store with every auto part at the best prices. This is your one-stop shop for everything auto parts. RockAuto.com has been in business for 20 years, and they make it easy to find the parts you need at the best possible prices. No more talking to counter guys who need to order your parts, aren't really sure what you're looking for, never have quite what you need, and then after all the hassle, will still charge you storefront markups. At RockAuto.com, you can easily find everything you need, and whether you're a mechanic, an auto shop, or working on your own car, everyone has access to the same incredible pricing at RockAuto.com. So if you're a car guy, right now go to rockauto.com and check out all the parts available for your car. You're going to have so much fun looking at car parts. So once more, go to rockauto.com. No promo code needed as their pricing is already that good. When you order, make sure to tell rockauto.com that you heard about them on Mike Vecchione Investigates. rockauto.com. All right, guys, let's get back into it. You know? So did you do power jumps this morning?
What's a power jump?
Power jumps when you screamed power.
I didn't scream anything. I said it only internally. Only in my mind. I can't. I just don't.
Can't is not a word that we use, not to get on my high horse, but you will do it, and you will be more explosive, even more powerful than you already are. I don't know if it's possible.
I don't know if the world can handle that, though.
Can't the world handle it?
I don't know if I can. If I became much more powerful,
yes.
I am worried I might cause a rift in the time-space continuum.
Wow.
It could happen.
You might disrupt the stratosphere? Is that one of them?
The stratosphere, the atmosphere, the ionosphere.
The ionosphere never gets any play. Everybody goes to stratosphere. The ionosphere never gets... And then there's the troposphere is another one that doesn't get any. Shannon, can we look up the different spheres of the environment, the atmosphere? I forget the word. It's the troposphere. We learned about it in earth science. I was pretty good in earth science. Everything below chemistry, I was nailing it. And then we got into chemistry, and it's like, oh, we're going to infuse math into this? I guess I'm on the sidelines now.
Yeah.
Not in the game.
What was your best subject?
English. English and writing. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shannon.
Exosphere.
We try to do everything with a graph here because it's basic. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere. I haven't heard about that since 8th grade. Mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere.
Sorry, is the ionosphere not real?
I think the ionosphere is one of these. It's in the mesosphere, probably. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but the ionosphere was a thing. And it's just like in the Earth, too. Everybody always talks about the crust and the core, but no one just talks about the mantle. And the mantle is like most of the Earth. So, do you feel that way sometimes in life, left out?
Do I feel left out?
Yeah.
I suppose so.
Because we're at a weird time right now, like both of us. Me, of course, being much older, as you've mentioned. But it's like we're with our partners, and it's like you still have friends in the community, but it's like, how often are you hanging out with your friends? And it's like it's less and less. It's more with my significant partner, which is what Twitter makes me call my girlfriend. But it's more with her now, and it's less with the outside friends. But I still try to make an effort.
Okay. I don't feel left out with my friends.
Right.
I do feel left out when there's so much going on in the world. There's so many political decisions being made.
Right.
And I have yet to be consulted. And I have opinions. I have thoughts. I have experiences. And I think when it comes to global politics, I feel left out.
Right.
Where's the Ariel in the Russia-Ukraine conflict?
Where is the Ariel?
How do I make this about me?
Were you named after... Your name sounds like a powerful space princess. And is that purposeful?
It means Lion of God.
Lion of God?
Isn't that cool? Oh, my God. What does Mike mean?
I don't know. Let's look it up, Shannon. Michael is an archangel. So I take your Lion of God and I counter your Lion of God with an archangel.
Is that why
It's a high-level angel.
So in Hebrew, it means who is like God or gift from God.
Michael? Gift from God. Let's go with the second definition on that. It's gift from God, Ariel. So you're the lioness of the sky, and I am a gift from God.
Yes. Thank you for gendering lion.
Lioness.
Yes,
Lioness.
Thank you.
A non-binary lion.
Yeah.
Did I make it better? Did I fix it?
Yes. As a human, I identify as a woman, but as a lion, I identify as non-binary.
You identify as a carnivore also, which is your natural state, as you said with the bacon comment earlier. So that's pretty great. So daylight saving time, let's get back to our original point because our fans have a terrible attention span and they like to focus on one thing. It threw you completely off. But in fall, you party because, fall is great. Fall back, spring forward, and you lost an hour. And how did you make up for it? 2 cups of coffee. And what happens to Ariel, the lioness of the universe, when you have 2 cups of coffee? What happens when a lioness has 2 cups of coffee?
When a lion has 2 cups of coffee, not the lion's 1 regular cup of coffee, but when a lion has 2 cups of coffee, the lion does not nap. The lion does not sleep tonight in the jungle.
Right.
And the lion gets real cranky.
Yes.
And the lion eats a cub.
Oh, my God.
That's just what happens.
Is that metaphorically?
Maybe.
Okay, so how are you cranky-wise? Do you fly off the handle?
Oh, man.
Why can't you put the food in the right container, dumbass? Do you flip out?
I definitely take it out mostly on my loved ones.
Yes.
And I become incapable of making any decision. Does that happen to you? Do you ever get paralyzed with indecision and you realize, I do know what I want, I'm just tired?
No, paralyzed is a tough word because I'm always moving and planking and shadow boxing it away. But it's been reported to me from my significant partner that when she gets tired, she has trouble making a decision. But she's not too tired to tell me when something's too loud or the lights are too bright or so she's not too tired that way. But you start snapping. You start snapping at loved ones and you're chosen.
Like a lion.
You're chosen. You're like a lion.
Snap at my loved ones.
But you snap at your lions. Do you ever get anti-Semitic? It's a real question.
Only in the sense that I have a lot of self-hate.
You have self-hate.
But I would never put it on the other members of my tribe.
The tribe.
Never on the tribe.
Right.
Only
I would like to have a tribe.
That's nice.
It's really nice to have a tribe to rely on.
Convert.
I can't because it's not my people, but I would like my people. Like I have a very specific people, but it's just like we're kind of like out to lunch, literally, because we're overeaters.
Italians.
Yeah, we're taking siestas, we're overeating, and then we don't go back to work, which is why our economy is collapsing.
Are you which kind of Italian are you?
The ignorant. No, I'm sorry. The southern, which is the same thing. We're my mother's people are from east of Rome, directly east of Rome, and my father's people are from outside of Naples. But most of the Italians who are in this country are from the South because the South was poor, and that's where everybody came over from. You don't come over to this country if things are going well.
I wonder.
Mostly, for the most part.
Are most countries, is it their South that's poor? Because that's the same in our country.
Oh my God! Shots fired at the Waffle House. The South is poor. The North is poor, though. The Rust Belt is in bad shape.
What's part of the Rust Belt? I don't know.
It's like Ohio, Indiana,
That's not the North.
Pennsylvania.
That's the Midwest.
I mean, it's the North, though, right?
It's not the North.
Isn't it in the North?
You think Ohio's the North?
Yeah.
It is in the Rust Belt. The Rust Belt consists of Indiana, Illinois, Michigan, Missouri, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Wisconsin.
You think what? Okay, but so there are states in
You're talking about the Northeast
that are in the Rust Belt.
Yeah, there's states in the North that are in the Rust Belt.
Right, but I wouldn't consider the Rust Belt the North.
I mean, they're all Union states if you want to go back to the Civil War, right? Ohio was in the Union.
Sure.
Indiana was in the Union, right? So it's not the South. You just consider it a different...
I just consider it the Midwest.
Okay.
All right. Well, fuck me, I guess.
No, I mean, no, that's
go.
not...
If you want me to go, I'll go.
I want you to stay. I want you to stay and speak your truth. Because we're just having a fundamental geographical disagreement. Now, I don't know who's right or wrong, but I know that this is equivalent to putting food in a container. So I'm probably wrong on this. Am I wrong? Am I right? Shannon, do you guys want to... there's women and they're ladies, and they can decide. Is the Midwest the North?
So I can tell
We'll leave it up to you guys.
More about how this is describing the Rust Belt. Does that help, or has this conversation moved beyond that?
I want to know, is Ohio and Pennsylvania considered the North of this country?
I know nothing about geography, so I'm not going to even try. Maybe Natalie does.
Natalie, what's Gen Z say?
I feel like
is it lit? Is it lit? Is it fire?
It is. I feel like you guys are talking about different things. I feel like Ariel's talking about vernacularly, like what we call the
vernacularly.
North. Do we have to look that one up? I'm sorry.
No, I don't think let's get sidetracked with that. But I think it's safe to say let's end the conversation by saying men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Fair enough.
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
I just think that I have geography on my shirt,
right.
So I therefore am.
You have a sunset.
The authority.
You have a sunset
and mountains.
You have a topographical map on your shirt, and my shirt is just
it's just black.
Right. It's slimming, though. It's
You look great.
Thank you. Agree to disagree on the what do you consider the North? Let's not leave it alone. What do you consider the North? New England?
Definitely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Vermont?
Certainly.
New York?
Yes.
Pennsylvania?
No.
Pennsylvania's not the North.
Pennsylvania's the Midwest.
Okay.
Maybe parts of Pennsylvania.
Philly is the Midwest?
Okay.
It's kind of an East Coast city.
But it is an East Coast city. You're right. You're right. You got me. Okay. But
right.
Cleveland, I would never consider an East Coast city.
Right. Cleveland is more of I would say, a Midwestern city. Milwaukee.
Cincinnati.
You're getting over now. You're moving over.
Part of Ohio. That's
where I'm originally from.
Thank God we kept this conversation going.
The fans need to learn, and they need to listen, and you will listen. They like to be talked to like that. They don't like it, but they need it a lot of times. Let's get off daylight savings because, we had a couple cold days here, and I figure whenever there's cold days and it's unexpected, I always go, does anybody call the groundhog on the carpet? He said it was going to be an early spring, and it wasn't, and we were freezing, and I just think that it's wrong. Everybody forgets about it and goes, oh, he had a prediction that was early spring, and then it gets freezing again. It's like, oh, he lied.
Yeah.
So, maybe we should have another day where it's like we call the groundhog on the carpet and we go, what really happened here? What was your prediction? Was it correct? And if it wasn't, how about we roast the groundhog and then we have sandwiches with the groundhog in it?
Like not just make fun of the groundhog and like tell him everything that we think is like funny and wrong about him, but we literally roast him.
Right.
Okay.
Not like a comic roast.
Okay.
But like literally roast and eat him. Because when you make a bet, I don't know if you're gambling. Do you gamble at all?
I don't.
When you gamble and you lose, you have to pay. There's no like, it was all for fun. It's like, no, you have to pay now. So it's like the groundhog comes in like fake news, wrong prediction. and we have this whole big to-do with him, and then we forget about it, and then it gets freezing again when he predicted it to be warm, and there should be hell to pay, dare I say. Your thoughts?
Do you remember when Bill de Blasio killed that groundhog?
Yes.
Do we think that maybe that was a show of strength from the human authority saying, start getting this right?
Right.
Or you'll end up like your friend over here.
I think that's a great point. De Blasio, vowel in his last name, sending a message.
Vowel in his last name.
Yes. Italian.
Doesn't everybody have a vowel in their last name?
Italian. De Blasio.
Oh, okay.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
So you're saying de Blasio, in conjunction with some other dark figures, murdered the groundhog to send a message. Mm-hmm. Sounds like Italians to me. And that's a great point. I don't think I ever would have thought about that myself. And I needed a lioness to come in here, slightly cranky, and to set me straight about the groundhog.
You're welcome.
That's a great point.
And as a lioness,
Yes.
I'm happy to personally kill that groundhog.
You would do it.
Carnivore.
Yes.
Carnivore, baby.
Right. I wonder what they taste like. Groundhogs.
I know you can eat guinea pig.
Yeah.
And you can get it at Food Bazaar.
Right. You took a lot of pleasure in saying the word guinea. Which I appreciate, and I love it.
Groundhogs are similar to rabbits in taste.
And rabbits taste like chicken.
I don't know what rabbit tastes like.
They taste like scared chicken.
Have you ever eaten rabbit?
No.
It's not bad.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I think man, I really am a carnivore. All meat is kind of great.
But wrapped in I like all meat wrapped in some kind of a cheese.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a mozzarella or a provolone
Wow.
melted on it.
Yeah.
Can't hurt. It always makes it better.
I guess that's true. What about a fish? You eat fish?
It's really good for you, yeah. Fish is good.
You throw cheese on that? Like a fucking Neanderthal?
No, cheese on fish I can't do.
Good.
You know? Plus I'll probably get yelled at by my significant partner for that. Throwing cheese on fish. She has more of a refined palate than I do. I'm more of a caveman type. But no, I eat when you were young, did you ever have to take fish oil pills?
No.
Yeah, my mom forced me to do it. And then we
Why?
realized,
Isn't
well,
that
now
for
for
old
no
people?
reason. Now for no reason. I don't think they help you at all.
It's supposed to be good for your brain?
Skin. It definitely didn't help my brain.
Skin?
It did.
Skin of your brain?
Epidermis.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely didn't help my brain, but I think my skin is is doing pretty good. And I didn't shave on this podcast.
Your skin looks great.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Do you have a routine?
Yeah, I go to the steam room. I steam it out. That helps.
That's at your gym?
Is at my gym.
It's
yeah.
not in your apartment.
We're working on it.
Okay.
But do you steam or sauna? Which camp are you in? The steam or sauna camp?
Do I have to choose one?
Yes, you do.
I
You have
can't
to
do
sweat.
both?
You have to sweat.
Well, I'm sweating right now.
Yeah. Well, you're under investigation.
These lights. I guess if I had to choose.
Right.
I
And
would-
women have the right to choose.
Thank you so much.
You our fans need to know that.
That's so nice. I would go sauna.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're into a slow burn.
I like a dry heat.
Dry heat.
It's better for my hair.
Okay. Well, I didn't take the hair into account.
It gets so frizzy. So Jewish.
So Jewish. I'm not allowed to say that, I don't think. I think that's only for the chosens.
Try it. See how it feels.
So Jewish.
Yeah, it doesn't
Feel
feel
it.
right.
But it feels good. Ariel, let's talk about marriage now. Before we get to our what's going on in the world. You got married over the pandemic. You had a pandemic wedding.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean,
You had it on Zoom,
we sent a Zoom link.
right?
Yours is in the mail.
A Zoom link, but if you send a Zoom link, did you expect a gift? A
No,
virtual gift?
You know what? We put in our message.
Mm-hmm.
We're not registered anywhere. There's no need for a gift.
Cash.
But if you do want to send a gift, here's
send
our
some
address.
cash to mommy and daddy.
Just give us,
Yeah.
please just give us money if you want to give us anything.
Give
So-
us money and
And
be a
then-
little liberal with it, okay? Dig. I'm trying to embellish the message more so you can get more money. Dig deep down in those pockets, baby. How much do you love us?
And some people still insisted on sending us a gift.
Gross.
a physical gift.
Gross.
Which is thoughtful.
Yeah.
And unopened and unused
Right.
at this point.
And what do you do with them?
They're just taking up space right now in
Yeah.
our apartment, and I'm sure at some point we'll just give it away.
Can I suggest that you throw them at neighborhood kids that are playing too loud?
I love that.
Just throw the gifts at the neighborhood kids.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I don't know anything that disciplines a kid like getting a decanter thrown at you.
Yeah, decanter. Is that a Jewish lantern?
A decanter is
Jewish light.
a Jewish. It's like a rabbi who sings at the service.
Oh,
Decanter.
A decanter.
Okay, that's a bad pun for my Jewish friends out there.
That's okay. A lot of the Chosens listen to this and they got it.
Is that true? You have
I think so.
you have
I think we have a
Jewish
good Jewish
I can see Jews liking you.
a following.
I like you.
Yeah.
I'm one of them.
Right.
So it was the pandemic was a great excuse to not have to pay for anybody's meal.
Right.
And to have a tiny wedding.
Tiny wedding.
Tiny wedding in my brother's backyard.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was really nice.
And where's the reception?
In my brother's living room.
Right.
It was just...
Was there enough room to dance and to do the thing with the chair? I know that's a thing with the chair,
we had
raising
enough
of the chair.
room to do the chair. We did not have enough people to lift the chair. There were only 9 people at my wedding, including me and Shaggy.
Well, that's why you have to have friends who can go to the gym and can bench a lot, because then I would have been good in that situation. I would have been able to lift the chair over my head. Me and a couple of more guys like that. Like you hire 2 or 3. It's kind of like having pallbearers. You know what I mean? You need a couple of guys who can raise the chair up to really celebrate it.
Have you been a pallbearer? Do you get asked
Yeah.
to do that a lot?
Mm-hmm. Really strong. Really strong. And I'm not afraid to show off my strength, even though it's not really the platform.
Do you ever see
right?
a procession of cars getting ready to go to a funeral and you're like, they probably need me.
Hop in.
I should go.
I never did that, but that's really good. A professional pallbearer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if you're in a family of weaklings and then one of you's die, you're not going to be able to carry it. That's the people who are like, oh, I guess we're just going to not vaporize, incinerate is wrong too.
Cremate?
Cremate. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
To cremate the person. And that's what it's like, oh, we couldn't get any pallbearers. We have no one strong in our family.
I see how strong you just whiff that microphone back and forth like it was nothing.
Yeah. That's what happens.
You're so strong.
Thank you for saying that. You're really building up my ego. And I should follow cars and just go, hey, pallbearer, for, $75 to $150. I'll carry your father to his final resting place.
That's a good deal.
And I'll press him over my head 10 times and then plank.
To get him close to heaven.
To get him close to heaven, but also there's going to be something in it for me, like some self-gratification. Plank and just do some exercises. I'll do that thing where it's like the coffin is here, and then I do the jumps over to show my dexterity. Yeah, just kind of put on a display. I like to do like an NFL combine type thing.
A funeral and a show.
A funeral and a show. And you guys do something where you leave the body. You put the body in the ground immediately. You leave it out. How's that work?
Okay. It's not immediate.
Right.
The body, so we don't embalm.
Right.
So it does happen pretty quickly.
Okay.
Because otherwise the body gets a little stinky.
Yeah.
We bury pretty quickly.
Okay.
There's a washing ritual.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be washed. You gotta wash the body.
Right.
The body can't be left alone at any point.
Really?
From the time you die until the time you're put in the ground. Somebody has to be with you.
Wow. That's interesting.
I've done it before where I stayed with a body for a shift.
Wow. That's in case the person fakes their own death and decides to go to Tahiti. It's to prevent that if you're the watcher, but if it was me, I would pay you off. And then I would go. And then you'd be like, I don't know what happened. I fell asleep, whatever.
Yeah. That's probably why it started.
I mean, I would imagine. We get to the bottom of stuff here. So your marriage, you had a small ceremony at your bride. And where was the honeymoon? In his front yard?
Jesus. I don't know if
Did you write your own vows? I mean,
Yeah,
you guys
of
are both
course.
great writers.
Of course.
So, I mean, you wrote your own vows.
Our vows-
Can you ballpark it for us, for our fans who are incels and are never going to get married?
Our vows deserved an Emmy.
Okay.
We are great writers.
Did you break down and cry?
I did not.
Oh.
I'm not a big
Solid.
crier.
You got some ice running through your veins,
I
girl.
know. You know what it is? I'm not great at processing my emotions in the moment.
Okay.
I can only do it later.
Right.
So I've been crying for a year since. But I didn't cry the day of.
You didn't cry the day of.
I didn't cry the day of.
And just for our fans out there who are thinking about not proposing, but our fans morally proposition people. But what were your vows? Like, what were the key points to your vows? You don't have to give us a word by word, but what were the key points? It's like,
Sure.
You're good with math, and that turns me on. And I love your family, and you are also Jewish. Am I way off?
No, you're dead on. It's like you were there.
Mm-hmm.
I did genuinely at the end. I said like I said like I vow, like I will do these things.
Yeah.
My last one was I vow to never testify against you in a court of law.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that was my,
That's solid.
because spouses can't be subpoenaed to
Yeah.
testify against their spouse.
Yeah.
And why else do you get married?
Right. Under the snitches get stitches law. But you can't testify against your husband.
You can testify, but you can't be compelled to testify.
You can't be
forced.
compelled?
You can't be forced to testify. They can't you can't be subpoenaed. You can
Right.
volunteer. You can say like, "Hey, my husband did this, and I would like to testify."
I thought subpoena is what you get on the honeymoon.
You're better than that.
Bad joke.
You're better than that.
I had to give it a shot.
With that-
we miss 100% of the shots that you don't take, and I operate on that.
Power.
Power. His vows to you, your vows to him. You step on the glass, symbolizing
Sure
the
did.
crushing of the temple.
and the destruction of your savior.
Ooh,
No, I know.
shots fired. But that's well taken.
Yeah.
Okay, so you crush the glass, and can I tell you something personal that has nothing to do with this?
Please.
I have a mezuzah on the next to the door of my apartment.
Say,
and it's
say the word again.
Mezuzah.
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 I have that on the door, and we didn't take it down.
Oh, it was left there by the
It was
previous
left
tenant.
there. No. It's the owner of the obviously the building, but we didn't take it down. We're like, no, I will not take it down because the angel of death comes along or whatever that's for, sees it, passes, or else firstborn son gets killed,
Yeah.
or the male person in the house
Any
gets
male
murdered.
will do. Yeah.
I know. It's like a vicious angel of death. So the marriage was good, and you guys decided to go for it. And
Well,
you didn't need
the wedding was good.
The wedding was
marriage
good.
is fine.
The marriage is fine. I think. Would you ever go to counseling?
Sure.
You would do it?
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. Some people don't want to do it. They don't want people touching their marriage. Counseling. That's something you guys would both be into?
If
If things went south.
First of all, I can't speak for him.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's
But I thought you guys were a
willing to do.
unit. Isn't that what marriage is?
But we are also listen. We are still individual units
Coming
within
together
our
as-
with coming together as one while still remaining one.
Right.
We're really coming together, not as we're part of the complete thing, but we're also still our own. We're our own selves. We make our own decisions.
Make your own decisions, but you have to check in with the other one.
And then, you just talk out all of it, every option, all of the anxiety.
Right.
You tell each other, and you never fucking stop.
Right.
And you
sound exhausted from
say
it.
everything
Yeah.
you're thinking.
Is marriage exhausting?
Life is exhausting.
Okay.
All of this is exhausting.
Right.
Being here is exhausting.
And daylight savings doesn't help.
It sure doesn't.
It doesn't help with the marriage. You think married people should have to abide by daylight savings, or should be they on their own clock?
I
A
think
different clock for marrieds?
I think different everything for marrieds.
Yeah. Because you guys are special.
Segregate the marrieds.
Yeah. You guys are on your own little honeymoon all the time.
We already have different tax stuff
Right.
than single people.
You're in a different tax bracket.
So give us different times
Right.
and different laws.
Yeah.
We should be allowed to run red lights sometimes.
I think so too.
without prosecution.
Because you couldn't testify against your partner anyway. And you couldn't be compelled, which is a word I learned. Yeah. You can't be compelled or you will be subpoenaed.
Nor chastised.
Chastised or compelled.
Nobody can chastise you when you're married if you run a red light.
And you can't be subpoenaed, which is not something that you do on your honeymoon.
It's something you get from your honeymoon.
Yes.
I think was your joke. Was your
You
solid great
gotta
joke. That I have no notes for.
You got a subpoena. If you get two subpoenaed, is that a throuple? I'm trying to relate to the kids who watch this show. A throuple. And I learned about it. And it's lit. Okay.
Would you ever get married?
Absolutely. I would get married, you know? I would get married and
would you ever get divorced?
No. I'm too late in life now. I'm too late in life to get divorced.
It's never too late to get divorced.
No, I would never. I don't want to get divorced. I don't want to do it. Prenuptial agreement. Did you sign one? Did you have him sign one?
No.
Was there a notary there who's also part of it?
We both came into the marriage with nothing.
Right.
So there's nothing to protect. And I don't think either of us are going places.
No.
So I think
you both are. I know you both. And
we'll
I
see.
think you both are going places. And you're going to build a fortune. And then what? And then what?
As long as I get the pens. He's always stealing pens.
He's stealing pens. Shifty that way.
As long as I get I that's all I want. He can have the kids. He can have the house.
Who has better handwriting, you or him?
Me. He's left-handed.
He's left-handed?
Yeah. Isn't that
You went to
hot?
the dark side, huh?
Yeah.
For our left-handed fans out there, that's a shot at you.
No, I think it's so
learn
hot.
to do things with your right hand.
Don't you dare.
No? You like southpaws?
I love a southpaw.
Why? Because they're different?
Yeah. Because they're just they're a little edgy. They can't write on a whiteboard.
Yeah,
it's
they're
hot.
They're incompetent. They can't use regular scissors.
It makes me feel needed.
Oh, okay.
And
so you're codependent.
I'm
Talk
not
to our
codependent.
fans.
I'm not codependent, but I want to be with someone who is codependent.
Ooh. Way to flip it.
Yeah.
You flipped the script. The kids are saying that in the 90s. You flipped the script.
But
Okay.
you're a righty.
Yeah, I'm right-handed.
Gross.
And what about an gross? What about I didn't feel that hit me and it's like that hurt. Ambidextrous.
Sure.
Somebody who can do both.
Sure.
That's like saying sure to somebody who can juggle fire. It's like, oh yeah, that's fine, I guess.
Okay. Also, sure to someone who can juggle fire.
Oh my God.
Doesn't do it for me, but it's not
Hard
a deal
to
breaker.
please. Ariel, Lioness of the Sky. Very hard to please. What does your last name mean? Elias. Lioness of the Sky, and then it wouldn't be
Elias comes from Elijah, the prophet.
the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very biblical, spiritual, yet a premium strength name.
You ready for this?
What?
My middle name means messenger of the sun.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
If I had
It's a lot of pressure.
my favorite nickname is from Game of Thrones. Have you watched it?
I haven't. Never seen an episode.
Okay.
Never
Well,
read a book.
It's not gonna track then. I'm working on a nickname.
But say it for the fans. Say it into the camera for the fans.
The stallion that mounts the world. That's my favorite. That was my favorite guy. That was my favorite name. I'd like to be referred to that as this. Was Mike here? And they were like, who? And they go, the stallion that mounts the world.
And go, oh,
Was he here?
Yeah.
And then you go, oh, the stallion that mounts the world. He just left. It's like, oh my God, I wanted to give him his lighter. And I think that's a great nickname. But you know what nickname I'm working on now? Baby Meatballs. What do you think of that?
Baby Meatballs.
Michael Baby Meatballs Vecchione.
I love that.
Is that a good one?
That's great.
We're workshopping it.
That's fantastic.
And Natalie and Shannon, I'll thank you to start calling me that because you've been very, very lax.
We
in
both
calling
just
me
had the
Baby
same
Meatballs.
reaction. I went, I love that.
Baby Meatballs.
I will absolutely call you that.
Katie loves it. And it's a big hit around the apartment.
I hope I get to host a show so I can bring you up.
Michael
as
Baby Meatballs.
Your next comedian. You're going to love him. Please welcome Michael Baby Meatballs Vecchione.
Yes. Thank you, Shannon. So we're working on it, hopefully in time for Skankfest. It's the real test when the fans will really get a full plate of baby meatballs. Okay, Shannon, Ariel's very strong, being a lioness, but also very talented, as I found out this weekend, as I already knew. But then seeing you perform live, it's like blew the whole crowd away. So let's not waste her. We have some articles, and we have to find out where she comes down on these. Let's go to Sarah Lawrence, sex cult leader made victims wear diapers. We need your, okay. So this is a sex cult, and you're in a marriage, right? Are you sure it's not a sex cult?
I'm not.
Okay, because you're on the fence about that?
I mean, I feel like if it's a sex cult, we should be having more sex.
You guys, I don't want to get into it because that's because marriage is a bond. It's a sacred bond between two people, and they shouldn't have to testify against each other sexually in an open court. Accused Sarah Lawrence sex cult leader Larry Ray once made two of his victims wear diapers while accusing them of acting like children, according to a disturbing testimony on Monday. I mean, do you wear diapers?
Not yet.
No, me neither. I don't wear them, but I mean, kind of freeing because you could just go to the bathroom whenever you want. Then you never have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. There was a time.
Yeah.
And there will be a time.
There will be a time.
But I'm in that phase of my life where I'm not currently.
Right. But I mean, it's not that you don't have to wear diapers if you need to use the bathroom. Like, it's like sometimes it's a laziness thing where it's like, I don't feel like going to the bathroom. I'll just go in my pants.
Yeah. Would love a bedpan.
Bedpan is good. Santos Rosario revealed the sick abuse under questioning by Assistant U.S. Attorney Lindsey Keenan at Ray's racketeering trial in Manhattan in federal court. Keenan asked Rosario if he recalled an incident involving diapers just before he tried to escape from Ray's tyrannical control. I don't remember the context of what we were being blamed for this time, but Larry said that me and my sister were supposedly acting like children, and he had Isabella, it's a great name, put diapers on us, Rosario responded, referring to Ray's alleged co-conspirator, Isabella Polk. Pollock.
Look, it is abuse. It's a terrible thing, but I appreciate somebody who is very much adhering to the punishment fits the crime.
And, you need to exert that emotional control if you're going to keep somebody in a sex cult. They're just not going to stay there. You have to, exert control over them.
I guess so.
In a sex cult. I mean, those are kind of the rules of the sex cult. Prosecutors allege Ray extorted money from the Rosario siblings and other college-age kids after he moved into Talia's on-campus dorm at the Sarah Lawrence College. A lot going on at Sarah Lawrence this time. Those are the courtroom drawings. I wonder how much those guys make, the guys who do the drawings.
They're so talented.
They're really great. They don't get the credit they deserve.
How many drawings do you think they have to do per trial?
I mean, there's probably a rush on it. It's like, this trial's happening right now. We need this stat. It's like, I just got back in the office. I just got back from vacation.
Yeah.
And they have to really scribble it out.
I appreciate that even when cameras are everywhere, these guys still have their union must be so strong that they still have this job.
I know. I mean, you make a great point. Like, camera phones are everywhere, and these guys are still drawing pictures. Ray berated Rosario, beat him with a hammer.
Oh my God.
Getting beat with a hammer is pretty bad.
It seems like the worst thing to be beaten with.
It's bad because he's like, oh, are you going to fix this thing? Nah!
Which side of the hammer also?
Oh, yeah, that other side. I mean, why is that even there? I mean, to pull nails out?
To pull nails.
I mean, we should have it feels like we should have a separate tool for that because of the dangers.
Well, it's also just admitting that your handiwork is bad.
Yeah.
You're probably going to make a mistake. It's a real eraser on the pencil.
Right. Measure twice, something once. What?
Cut once.
Yes.
Dated a lot of construction workers.
Thank you, Shannon. Shannon's dated a lot of constructions. A lot of tall construction workers. Shannon hates short people.
That's not true.
Ray's crimes also included forcing one of the students, Claudia Drury, into prostitution, according to prosecutors. Ray allegedly collected some $2 million in profits by sex trafficking one girl, one person.
Good. I mean,
that's a lot of sex trafficking. $2 million worth of sex trafficking?
Just from her. Claudia.
$2 million.
Is very talented.
Oh, my God.
I could never. I think I would. I couldn't.
How would you be at the sex traffic?
I would gross very little money. I'm not a profitable
sex trafficker?
Sex trafficking
person. What if somebody came to you and it's like, okay, I'm ready for some sex traffic. Let's get this on. And you were like, all right, I'm ready. And it's like your rate is really high. And they go, gift certificate. Would you try less hard?
Yeah. If you come to me with a Groupon,
Yeah.
you're getting a little teeth.
Things are going to get toothy. Mm-hmm. And then what if there's a complaint or a bad Yelp review? Is that going to down your brand?
Oof. Well,
1.5 stars.
You know,
she was nice, but a little toothy. She winced when I showed her the gift card.
Yeah, I understand. I would just hope that at this point people are using more TripAdvisor than a Yahoo review.
Okay. On one occasion, Ray allegedly forced Drew to perform a sex act on Rosario. Is Rosario a woman? I lost track. In one of the hotel rooms, according to testimony. Look at these people. They look like normal people. He told Claudia, give me a blank job. I wonder what that is. And for me to take off my pants. Rosario said, adding that Ray was right next to me when it happened. Rosario said he felt like I didn't have any control of my life no more. The 30-year-old, who was the first alleged victim to testify at the trial, said he ran away from the Ray in 2014 after he sent him and his sister to a Manhattan Apple store. Did he text his way out of it? Did he email? Rosario made
that's
contact.
often the last straw for a lot of people.
An Apple store?
Being sent to an Apple store.
Yes.
You go, you know what? I'm fed up. I'm running away. It can't get worse than this.
Go to the Apple store. I mean, there's going to be a wait, and then I'm going to have to get a data transfer. That's going to take at least 72 hours.
And no, I don't have an appointment.
Yeah, right?
Why do I need an appointment? You're a store. Let me in.
Right. I mean, they act like they're doctors.
I wouldn't know. I have an Android.
Do you really?
Yeah. Wow. We're a Google family.
You guys are, I mean,
the Shacky Elias household is a...
Shacky Elias. Shacky dash Elias?
No.
Just Elias?
He's Shacky, I'm Elias.
But you guys are one, you're a team.
Yeah.
And a unit.
Sure. Okay. But individuals.
Individuals who are part of a team.
Yeah.
No I in team.
Power.
Ray is charged in the 17-count indictment on counts including racketeering, sex trafficking, and conspiracy. He faces a maximum of life in prison, which is his own sex cult.
Wow.
Is he going to get what he wanted?
Maybe he'll be in charge in prison.
Yes. And solitary confinement is the worst. Because then it's like, you're alone then. You don't have a sex cult.
You just have to use your imagination.
Yeah. Imagination is key. Well, we've investigated that. And if you were at home and you're watching this or listening to it because you can't afford a computer, because you haven't been to an Apple store, and you were on the fence about joining a sex cult, I hope we persuaded you. And I'm not saying which way, because this is a non-biased podcast. Next one. Russian McDonald's fan chains himself to eatery to stop closing. This is something the media doesn't cover about the war. Russian McDonald's fan chains himself to an eatery in an attempt to prevent closing.
I've never heard McDonald's referred to as an eatery.
Yeah. Well, internationally it is.
Good for them.
It's way more respected than we give it credit for. I wonder if he took McNuggets hostage and was like, I'll eat every last one of these 6. A Russian man was not loving it. Don't you love the sassiness that the Post comes with? And McDonald's was about to shutter its stores in the country amid the invasion of the Ukraine. So he chained himself to one of its eateries in Moscow in a last-ditch attempt to keep it open. Sanctions.
They hurt everyone.
But does it include McDonald's? We're like, no, fatzos. You can't have our food anymore either.
McDonald's made that decision for themselves because, as you said, you do support the right to choose. Right. And McDonald's is a person and I think a woman. And so she chose to leave and said, no more. I'm done with you.
Right.
And good for her.
Yeah, good for her. She decided to pull out.
Finally, the woman gets to pull out.
Thank you for saying that. It's Women's Awareness. The Golden Arches fan, identified as Luka Savranov, was filmed staging his protest hours before the burger giant was set to temporarily close at 8:50. It closed its 850 restaurants. Closing down is an act of hostility against me and my fellow fatzos. Doesn't say that.
Doesn't
it says citizens.
say that.
But it doesn't take a rocket scientist. These people have high cholesterol. They're chaining themselves. Oh my God.
Is there any restaurant or eatery, if you will, that you would chain yourself to if they said we're closing all of our stores?
Dunkin' Donuts.
A Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Okay.
Chuck E. Cheese. And Chuck E. Cheese is starting to close. And you're not going to serve pizza with an animatronic band and then tell me I can't come in. I'll chain myself. I'll chain myself to the Pizza Time Theater stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's where they perform.
Yeah.
And as a performer and somebody who loves pizza, you can't take away both things from me. I get it with this guy. I'm on his side now. Police eventually dragged Saffron away from the chaotic scene. I wonder if they dragged him into a Wendy's. Calm down.
Eat this now.
Yeah, you get a square hamburger. That's your punishment. His dramatic demonstration came after the company president and CEO, Chris Kampanowski, explained to the employee that closing the stores was the right thing to do. As we move forward, McDonald's will continue to assess the situation and determine if any additional measures are required. What additional measures could they? Maybe this guy needs to join a gym.
Maybe they could take a step further. In addition to closing all the stores, maybe McDonald's will burn them all down and collect the insurance money.
That's a mob move. Yes.
I knew you'd like it.
I like it. It goes right with my ethnicity. 59 minutes in, and we've got to move fast. We have Ariel Elias with us, and we cannot waste her talent. Let's go to the next one, Shannon. Doctors slam influencers for injecting fish tank cleaner to fight aging. This is stuff that the media doesn't want to cover. They don't have the balls.
I can't believe you didn't mention that this is something you do when I asked about your skincare routine.
Well, I didn't want to say it until later in the podcast. We have to get listeners to buy in. You know, we only get the numbers if they listen past a certain point. Mm-hmm. So we save the very valuable information for the end. Doctors are slamming fitness influencers, and you're looking at a couple right here. Power. Doctors are slamming fitness influencers hawking the health benefits of methanol blue, an antifungal dye often used to clean fish tanks. That's one of its uses. That's just one of its uses. Everybody calm down. The substance, which can be injected, consumed orally, is prescribed by physicians to treat, I didn't even know this word, a medical condition in which blood cannot deliver oxygen to different parts of the body. So it is used, and not just to clean fish tanks. I wonder if it makes you a better swimmer. So.
I would think so. I mean, if it's helping deliver oxygen to
but
different
it's also
parts of the
cleaning
body.
Fish tanks.
Yeah, because of all the oxygen. I mean, look, it's important
Dan
to be able
Shackey is a good swimmer. We've established that here.
He has webbed toes.
Get out of here.
It's one of my favorite things about him physically.
Left-handed and webbed toes?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hit the fucking lottery.
You hit the lottery with him. And an engineer.
Yeah.
However, while it's not harmful for most humans to consume methylene blue in therapeutic doses, some experts are trashing claims from influencers that the dye helps enhance cognitive abilities, boosts metabolism, and fights aging. I'm in.
I guess
Where do I sign up?
Well, if it kills you,
yeah,
technically that is fighting aging.
That's a great point.
Can't age if you're not alive.
That's right.
So.
And
they're not wrong.
They're not wrong. And whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I believe that was Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Who may or may not be a doctor. She's an influencer. Influencers are now doctors.
And doctors are now influencers.
Yes, doctors are influencers. And chiropractors are...
not doctors.
They're not doctors. However, while it's not harmful for most... I read that already. I have just discovered the trend of fitness influencers sticking methylene blue on their tongue as a metabolic or cognitive enhancer, and I can't stop laughing. Australian doctor Darren Sanders, more like Colonel Sanders, right? Chicken. Oh my God, of course it also slows down your chain of aging, whatever the hell that is, he further sniped. Look at this handsome hunk. Shannon, interested?
Nah.
No, not that sexy. Methylene blue.
Do you want to watch that?
Yeah, let's watch a TikTok.
Okay. Hold on one second. Hold on.
Hello there, Canadian Physician here. And did you just tell your 500,000 followers that methylene blue can be used to treat COVID-19? The study behind you is a preclinical lab study showing that it inhibits the coronavirus binding to ACE2. Preclinical studies are good for generating ideas for trials in humans, but it needs to be tested in humans first to prove that it works. Not to mention that methylene blue is not harmless. It can cause destruction of red blood cells in people with G6PD deficiency, causing potentially life-threatening hemolysis. As an FDA warning because it interacts with people's antidepressants to cause something called serotonin syndrome, which is potentially fatal as well. Not to mention it can discolor your skin and bodily fluids. So methylene blue is not recommended for the prevention or treatment of COVID-19. I'd also like to point out it's irresponsible for a non-medical professional to post that on their social media as it could lead to real harm. I hope this helps.
What's your reaction?
I don't know if it helps.
Yeah, my reaction is one. This is my reaction. Nerd! Drink the fish tank cleaner and shut your mouth. It helps with aging, dude. Okay, what don't you get? Young, hot, athletic. God, people don't get it. Let's go to the next one. I am so done with this, Shannon. Let's go to let's skip the next one because I don't care about it.
Tell me the headline of the next one.
Spring breakers flock to Florida beaches without COVID restrictions.
Oh, yeah.
Boring. Spring breakers are going on spring break. How is that even news? Yeah. They party. They get it in.
20-year-olds are having sex with 20-year-olds.
Where'd you go to college?
Tulane.
Did you go to spring break?
What does that mean?
Did you go to is spring break like a fallacy, like the North to you?
I did not go to spring break.
No.
In fact, one year I could not afford to go home that year, and so I stayed in the dorm while everybody had left, and I read the Bell Jar, and I watched like 4 seasons of The Deadliest Catch, and then afterwards I was like, oh, I might be depressed.
Well, what you just described is the opposite of spring break.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey.
What you just described is clinical depression.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of spring break.
But that's how fun I was in college.
Well, it sounds like you were a great time. But let's get you out of this funk and let's get our fans out of it by inflatable hot tubs.
Yeah, baby.
Yes, the best 8 inflatable hot tubs of 2022. Buy it ASAP for your yard. Yes, regardless of whether we own $1 million estate or rent a less than 2,000-foot condo, the mental image of you drifting away on the hot tub while sipping on drinks or methylene, which is fish tank cleaner, out of the coconut is just what we need. For this, an inflatable hot tub will work for those wonders just fine. Most of these options are available at Amazon and front door. Additions to your space, backyard bliss.
I wish I had any of these things.
Would you do a inflatable hot tub?
In a heartbeat.
Yes.
I would love that, but I have no outdoor space.
Why not in your living room? Can you do it indoor?
I don't know. Let's keep reading. Let's find out. It specifically says outdoor additions to make your space make your space into a backyard.
I mean, what about people who don't have a lot of outdoor space?
Yeah, this says if you rent a less than 2,000-foot condo, but what if you rent like a 500 square foot?
Just put it in the kitchen and then hot tub while you cook.
Ooh.
Cooking hot tub?
Make the water so warm that you cook the meat in the hot tub water.
Now we're boiling.
There we go.
No.
I can't I put them in post just to break the fourth wall. While I have this up on the screen, I can't do the air horn, so I write down the timestamp so that the listener hears it.
We're going to do it in post.
Yes, it will have been there.
Okay. Well, hot tubs are amazing. So I think we covered everything. And we're an hour and 7 minutes in, Ariel. And we finished with the hot tub.
You know what? This was so fun. It felt like an hour and 4.
That's only 3 minutes. Our fans are bad at math. That's only 3 minutes off of what we actually are doing.
Yeah, but time, again.
Time is not a construct.
To bring it back.
Time is
a circle. It's not a linear thing.
Time is a circle and it's made up and it's all philosophical, just like the North.
Exactly.
That's what we learned. Ariel doesn't believe in the North.
Sure don't.
Mm-mm.
When they say the South will rise again, I go, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
There's only the South.
There is only the South. Everything is the South.
Yeah.
Are you Canadian?
I would never.
Okay. Because everything would be the South to them. I think that's right.
What about the North Pole? Wouldn't that be not the South Pole?
Now you're talking Santa, which you can't. You have no right.
I don't believe it.
You have no right.
I'm the only person who doesn't believe in Santa.
I know. Dreidel spinner.
Put that.
I'm so sorry.
Should we go to plugs, Shannon?
Yeah.
Is that your way of telling me to go to plugs?
Put that coffee down. Coffee's for closers only. Always be closing. Always be closing.
I'm gonna have Heidi lick some caviar off my balls in the meantime.
This guy is a wrecking machine. And he's hungry.
Guys, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for being with us, and also on the YouTube premiere. We gave shout-outs last week and or the week before, and we love you and thank you. Please spread the word about this podcast. I think this is the best podcast that no one knows about. It's we're incognito, and we want to be out cognito. We want to be in the open, and we want followers. So please tell your friends, and if they don't listen, then grab them and force them to watch us. Please follow me on all social media platforms, at Comic Mike V, Twitter, Instagram. Now I'm on TikTok, at Comic Mike V. Please follow. MikeVecchione.com for dates. Shannon, can you pull them up? Because I have some road stuff coming up. House of Comedy, March 24th through 27th in Vancouver. And I will be taking a special COVID test. And I will be cracking jokes at the COVID test to warm up for my weekend in Vancouver. So I'll be doing Vancouver, March 24th through 27th, House of Comedy. Houston, Texas, The Riot, March 1st and 2nd. Cleveland, Hilarities, April 15th and 16th. And then Nashville, Tennessee, April 18th, I'm doing the Nate Land podcast live. And then April 19th, I'm taping my special with Nate Bargatze is directing it in association with 800 Pound Gorilla. It's 2 shows, April 19th. So if you're in the Nashville area, buy tickets and please come support your boy. Also, I have another podcast called The Macaroni Rascals. It's available on Patreon. Also, we release the YouTube videos and on iTunes. So subscribe and please become a Patreon member of The Macaroni Rascals. Very funny with Greg Stone. Ariel, what do you got?
Congratulations on the taping.
Thank you.
It's so exciting. Follow me at Ariel_comedy on everything. And I don't know what I have coming up because I don't have my phone. So,
do you have a website?
Yeah, ArielEliasComedy.com.
ArielEliasComedy.com for her dates.
I'll be in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Yes.
On March 25th.
Not the North.
And 26th. The Midwest.
The Midwest.
And I'll be at Helium in Philadelphia.
Nice.
Which is the North. On March 30th with Sean Donnelly.
Oh, Sean Donnelly. He's great. He's been a friend of the show. And Shannon, what do you got?
You can listen to my podcast, The Thing Is, Ding. We talk about bad dates, fighting, and ghosts. This week on the show, we have Tabitha Stevens. She is a Hall of Fame adult movie star, and she had a lot of fun stories to tell. You can listen to that wherever you listen to podcasts on the Gas Digital Network. Follow me on Instagram at ShannonLee6982. Wherever you listen to Mike Vecchione Investigates, you can also watch it live for free every single Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern at gasdigitalnetwork.com/live. The best way to support the show is to go to gasdigitalnetwork.com, use promo code MVI, which will give you a 1-week free trial, and that gives you access to every single episode of Mike Vecchione Investigates, as well as every single episode of every show on the Gas Digital Network. And that also includes the 3 brand new shows that just joined this year. Yo MMA Rap with Luis J. Gomez and Dave Smith, Berg's Base, hosted by Aaron Berg, and Wild Goose, hosted by Zach Wild and JD DeServio of Black Label Society. If you have questions, comments, or your own investigation to submit, send it into MikeVecchioneInvestigates@gmail.com. Go to podcastmerch.com for t-shirts, hoodies, and mugs. And if you listen on iTunes or YouTube, make sure to rate, review, and tell a friend. And that's it.
All right, Ariel.
Mike.
Final thoughts from a lioness.
Eat meat.
Lioness of the sky.
Eat more meat.
Eat more meat. Carbs. Cut the carbs.
Never.
Meat and carbs.
Cut the veggies.
Cut the veggies.
Cut the veggies.
Oh my God.
Stop it with the roughage.
You're the best. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And
That's
it was
nice.
great. It was great to have you in. And for Shannon, for Natalie, for Ariel, I'm Mike Vecchione. We will see you guys next week. Guys, thank you for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates. And if you go to gasdigitalnetwork.com and use promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. That's gasdigitalnetwork.com, promo code MBI, you will get 1 week free. Thank you again for listening to Mike Vecchione Investigates on the Gas Digital Network.